pleasant good Wednesday evening. I'm Chase Miller. Welcome to the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show as presented to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. We put a bow on the month of February here, as joining us will be Park Christian girls basketball coaches. We'll talk a little bit about the Falcons matchup with Lake Park Audubon in the Section 6A tournament for girls hoops. Also, just the regular season that they've had to this point of the season. Braaten and the Carrington Cardinals are making their way to the Region 2 championship here for Carrington against Devils Lake on Thursday night. We'll have that for you on your live event. We'll hear from Coach Braaten here around the corner. Also, Bart Manson of the Fargo Davies Eagles boys basketball team. Fargo Davies 16-5 on the season. They're the number one seed heading into the EDC tournament. We'll talk about Mason Claybo with his career scoring record. That and more coming up here with Bart. And we'll get to our senior spotlight from Avah from Thief River Falls on her commitment for college athletics. That and more still to come on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show.
Welcome to our Your Live Event Coaches Show here, joined by Zach Kakela of the Park Christian Falcons. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And girls season, you guys just hit a big milestone with the Pine to Prairie Conference Championship. So take me through the journey that's gotten you here to being Pine to Prairie Conference champions and then also getting to do it on your home floor.
Yeah, that was an exciting process for us this year. It was always kind of in our sights that the Pine to Prairie Conference game was played in our gym this year, and it was definitely a goal of ours and the kids and the team to get there to represent ourselves and our team and be able to play in the gym there. And we took on Boston a couple of weeks ago now there, and yeah, the girls played really well that day. You know, Boston gave us a good battle. They're always such a physical team and got a good inside presence and outside girls who complement that. And, you know, we always have to play a good game when we play them there. But yeah, we were able to get out of the conference there that Saturday with the win. And like I said, that was a big goal of ours this year, was to be able to represent our side of the conference on our gym floor. And the kids were happy to hang that banner there. So excited to get that one done there. But yeah, now we're getting into the other part of the tournament time of the year and ready to turn the page and get ready for subsections and sections here. So.
Absolutely. So congratulations first off on that conference championship. And then shifting notes a little bit here, talk about the new gym that you guys have been able to move into this last year for Park Christian, a big project completed for you guys. So you guys have got light shows and everything going on at the new facility. So take me through the enjoyment of playing there this year.
Yeah, it's really been a lot of fun. You know, it was about a year ago or so we got our first game in there. So it really hasn't been all that long. But gosh, it really, you know, we've played quite a few games in there now, and it's starting to really feel like home, you could say. So, but yeah, it's just a great atmosphere, great gym. It's fun to have the bleachers on the baseline there. Just kind of gives it a little bit different of a feel with some of the fans and stuff down in those areas. And then just the space that's kind of in there. You know, it's well lit compared to some of the gyms that we get into and some of that stuff. But yeah, it's really been a nice space for both us, the boys, girls, and all the teams at Park there to be able to participate in. And it's given us a nice second gym option too, right? So for practice purposes or any other activities that are going on at Park Christian for the youth or the younger kids and things like that. So it's really been a great addition and to be able to have that around and been a lot of fun to play in. So yeah, we've kind of done some things with the starting lineups to try and make it exciting for the kids and things like that. And hopefully we can just kind of keep growing on those things as we play more games in there. So.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the next game that you'll be playing in there coming up this Thursday, right? Talk about the matchup that you guys have drawn for Thursday and what you are going to expect in that game.
We actually got Lake Park again this year in the first round there, and they're going to be a good team. You know, they're got a lot of good shooters on the team. They play with a lot of energy. They really get after it on both ends of the floor, and we're going to have to be ready to match that on Thursday there. You know, they are one of our losses this year. They got us down there when we played in Lake Park. You know, it was a close game. We had a little bit of a lead in the second half there, but with their shooting ability and their ability to put pressure on you defensively, you just can't let off the gas at all there. And they were able to get some momentum going, hit some threes, make some free throws, and they really made that game tough for us there and ended up making us lose that one. And that's kind of been the way it's gone with LPA over the years. They've kind of had that similar style of basketball. Last year, there was a couple of games they challenged us in the same manner where we kind of had a lead going into halftime, you know, and then they got out into the second half, started to get hot behind the perimeter. And They were just tough to get slowed down. And so we're going to have to be ready to go Thursday night. They're a really good team. They've won a lot of games this year, and they're going to be a challenge for us. So, but that's how it is when you get to the tournaments. So you want to be ready. You want to be prepared. Hopefully our kids are ready to go. Hopefully some of the games, some of the situations they've been in this season has helped them grow and get them ready for this time of year. And we're just hoping, like every other team, that we're playing our best basketball Thursday night when the ball's thrown in the air, right? So trying to hit those windows, trying to peak at the right time. So
Yeah, talk me through some of the veteran leadership that you have on this team. You have some players that have been there and done that before. So, how important is it to have the players like a Casey Andreessen, for example, that has been at this for a long time?
yeah, she sure has. She is our only senior this year, but she's been around a lot of years and been through a lot of different experiences with this team, right? It wasn't always winning for her in her early years. So she kind of had to go through the process and the journey of kind of getting things turned around, learning how to win, learning how to sustain winning from year to year, too. And she's done a really good job from a leadership standpoint, being our only senior on the team and her ability to kind of galvanize the younger kids, really uplift their spirits during the tougher times, and just try manage those momentum swings in games that sometimes happen where sometimes things just aren't going your way. She's always just been such a big part of that for us and such a great leader in that aspect. So, she's some of that veteran leadership for sure. And then even within our junior group, even though they're juniors, they've been around and played a lot of basketball for us. Libby Sukert's playing really well this year, on both ends of the floor, shooting the ball well, getting downhill, finishing in the paint. And then defensively, she's really picked it up this year and getting after rebounds and things like that. And Annika Johnson has been around for the same amount of time as Libby. They both started since they were freshmen and eighth graders there. So even though they're a little bit younger from the class wise, they've been with the team for a while. They've been through a lot of those experiences as well. And then, some of the conference championships, the playoff runs last year. Hopefully that all just kind of ties in to them being ready to go Thursday night and more calm, more collected, and more prepared just for what's going to happen once we hit the floor. And we got other juniors, Haley Free, Annika Free. They sure do a lot for us as well, out on the perimeter there. Gosh, they sure get after it defensively for us and make it problematic for the other team in those aspects. They shoot the ball well. And then they just have a really good understanding of what we're trying to do IQ wise on both ends of the floor. And that sure makes a big difference when you got people who have the understanding of what you're trying to do X's and O's wise well. So, and then our sophomores, they haven't been around too long. They're a little bit raw. They're getting better every day and everything. But Ashlyn Forty and Sierra Carlson have played a lot of good basketball for us this year, too, and have been a big part of why we've been able to be successful. And hopefully they are just continuing to grow. I know they're a little bit on the younger side, kind of new to some of these situations and some of these bigger games, but hopefully they're ready to go on Thursday night, too, and we can just keep humming along and one game at a time is kind of our motto right now. So just trying to go 1-0 every day.
Absolutely. And I want to put a spotlight on a couple different players that you mentioned there. First off, Libby Sukert, she hit that 1,000-point mark this year, correct?
Yep, she sure did there. So yeah, down in Breckenridge, she was able to get to 1,000 there. So a really great milestone for her, and just kind of shows, how much time, dedication, and work that she has put into the game over the years. And it's good to see it paying off and her to get those awards and hit those milestones.
Yeah, it just seems like Libby every year adds something a little bit new, a little bit extra that polishes her game up a little bit more. That now she's averaging about 16 points per contest off of those additions to her game.
Yeah, she really does work hard on adding things, things off the dribble to go along with that shooting to make it tougher on the defender, ways to get downhill. She's constantly working on her game throughout the course of the year. And even maturity of growing off the floor, the leadership aspect, the IQ stuff, the seeing the floor better. She has really came a long ways over the last few years here with that growth. And I expect it to continue over these next years with her work ethic too, and the things she'll do with this off season and going into her senior year. But couldn't be more proud of the things she's done this year and these past years for us, and just her willingness to fight, work hard, and continue to grow day after day. So he's really been a big part of what we've done this year.
Definitely. And then Sierra Carlson. So you mentioned her a moment ago. basketball just runs in that family, as we know, with Bridger Carlson on the guy's side, and then brother Austin already have graduated, then Annika too, of course. So basketball just kind of runs in that Carlson family. So how nice is it to have just kind of a raw prospect, like you said, with Sierra, but she is improving, it seems like, game by game, and it can go off for a big scoring output at any time.
Yeah, she really can. She's got the ability to shoot the ball, get downhill, finish at the rim. And yeah, it does. She's really been getting better here game to game and starting to understand what works well for her out there and where she needs to be spot wise and her position. So if you can finish scoring and, those spots out on the 3-point line where she shoots a little bit higher of a percentage and stuff like that. But yeah, she's kind of got that high ceiling talent wise. So you just don't really know game to game, with some of the youngers. You hope for the consistency, you hope for the high level consistency, of course, but as their game grows and they step in and they're learning new things, you can kind of see it piece itself together. And that's what I've kind of seen with Sierra on both ends of the floor as the season has progressed here. And yeah, she's really had some good games here down the stretch. And, she's pretty good size with her strength and physicality too. So that does help us at times. We're a little bit undersized depending on our matchup on a night-to-night basis there. So with her physicality, her willingness to get down there and battle with some of the bigs kind of gives us some help down in that area too. But yeah, she's come a long ways. And another one of those kids on our team who works really hard in the off season, really commits to the game. And I expect it to grow and continue to grow as her career progresses as well.
Absolutely. Shifting to a different note here. So for those people that might be tuning in for the first time to Falcons basketball in the playoffs here, what are they going to see right away about this team? What are the qualities they're going to see when they watch Falcon girls basketball?
Hopefully energy and effort. We go out there, we try to play as hard as we can on both ends of the floor. We understand it's not going to be a perfect night, perfect game. That's just not how sports goes in a realistic standpoint, regardless of what you're playing. But we really try hang our hats on playing as hard as we can out there, lifting each other up as a team, communicating as a team, and hopefully you're just going to see that effort. If it's evident on getting after loose balls, diving out of bounds for loose balls, chasing down rebounds, or just kind of a high energy, high level of communication that you might see or feel with us out there. That's really where we try to start with every day. We figure if we can do those things, a lot of the other things will start to fall into place for us. But we really hang our hat on energy and effort around there and trying to be never outworked from a night-to-night basis, regardless of who we're playing or who we're matching up with. So those are some of the things we try to do around there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one final question here before I let you get back to your day. But what makes coaching this team so enjoyable for you? What about this team energizes you back and gives back to you as the coach that's been able to mentor these kids for several years now?
Gosh, just how much they want it and their will to win and their fight for each other and their love of the Lord and love of the program and love of the game. It puts me in a spot where every day I just want to work as hard as I can for them too. They're a great group of kids, every single one of them, from senior all the way down to the 8th graders we brought up. It really does take everybody within the gym to make practices competitive, to make teams grow, to make that chemistry grow. And, I see all the effort from all the kids there, and it's just a blessing to have that many kids who are willing to work that hard for a common goal and to work that hard to have success within the program. So I get to the gym every day with a smile on my face. I'm blessed to be around those kids, my coaching staff, the program. It's been a great 5 years for me now. It's really kind of flown by. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years coaching the varsity, but it's really been a great experience. And I'm just thankful for all those kids and their willingness to work hard. And, they got things going on with life outside of basketball too. And they come into the gym every day and get focused and are there for each other and work as hard as they can. And like I said, that just fuels my fire to do everything I can for them and the team. So I'm blessed to have them all.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be looking forward to seeing you guys here on your live event and covering you guys as we go ahead into playoff time. So, Coach Kakela, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Josh. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your season, too.
Thank you so much. That is Zach Kakela on the Your Live Event Coaches Show.
Coach, you knew it was going to be a hard-fought battle. Two great teams and a Thompson team, I think, coming in that was playing their best basketball, and you certainly found a way to humble them in the end tonight.
we played pretty good defense throughout the night, and we were able to rotate some kids, and Sage made some great shots, and Tozer did her thing too, and we were just able to slow them down a little bit, a few possessions, and then we shot the ball from the arc better than we have lately, so that was good to see.
And you mentioned kind of the defense being the calling card and having maybe a little more opportunity to kind of prepare for Thompson a third time around. You kind of know the ins and outs of the players, and you kept Hurst limited tonight. Sage certainly had her points and some other contributing factors, but you kept Hurst from damaging you tonight.
Yeah, and they're such good fundamentally, and Jason does a wonderful job. They stuck on us. We just had a few bounces, and it wasn't more than 5-6 plays difference, and that thing could have been turned around. But our kids' work ethic and attitude, hats off to our kids.
Of course, in the first win against Thompson, Eden Hornet was kind of the star of the show, you could say, leading the way. And I think younger sister Aniston had some great moments today. She was our player of the game. Your thoughts on having both of them on the floor this year? Yeah,
they have good chemistry together. They see the court, and they can shoot the ball. And we got Cadence Van Ray off the bench again today, and her and Annie did just a marvelous job. And I thought our depth kind of won out a little bit.
Of course, I think you have a chill, calm disposition right now, but I think in those timeouts, you were having a blast in there, and you were hoping the girls would have some fun too tonight.
Oh, absolutely! It's teenage years go fast, and these games, these opportunities go by so fast that they just have to cherish the opportunity. And hey, Thursday we get another opportunity. We're going to cherish it and come in and work hard.
Get another opportunity as well, knowing that whether win or coming up short, you do have at least another game after that. You hope to take care of business on Thursday and get 3 more.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's our goal. And we know we have to break pressure. It's not much of a secret. If Devil's Lake presses you and you give them 30 turnovers, they're going to get some buckets. So we got to handle the ball and be composed and attack the rim when we get a chance.
Some of the other things tonight that you want to carry over to that game on Thursday?
Absolutely, just our intensity, both ends of the court, laser focused on offense, and just being able to work our tail off on the defensive end.
In the old, I would say old format in Class B, Class A, maybe there's some people out there that say, well, Carrington's in Region 3, that's an easy region, so it makes sense why they made it to state a lot of times. But I think you proved tonight that, no, Carrington is a solid basketball program worthy of playing against the best competition in the state.
Don't lay down on Region 3. Lots of Edgeley and Oaks and Linton and Lemoore, and and I missed a few out there. MPB, there's a lot of solid programs down there, so we had to work our tail off to get out of Region 3, and anytime you got to get to state tournament, you got to work your tail off.
Andy Braaten, head coach, Carrington girls basketball, joining us here on our Dakota Heritage Bank post-game coaches' comments. Coach, thanks for the time. Great win tonight. We'll see you on Thursday in the championship.
Thank you.
Grow your hard-earned money at Red River State Bank. We have deposit accounts for checking, savings, business, and money markets. We also have longer-term accounts like certificates of deposit and individual retirement accounts. Now with 2 locations in Halstead and Fertile, Red River State Bank is ready to help you grow your dreams with deposit accounts for you and your business. Stop in or visit us online at redriverbank.com. Red River State Bank. Growing together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Visit with Ryan Opdahl, your local Farmers Union Insurance agent in Hillsboro.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Join us here from the Fargo Davies Eagles as Bart Manson as they take home the EDC regular season championship again, 16-5 as they make their way to the EDC tournament. There's a number of things we can start with here, Bart, but I'll just ask you from this year's club back in November when you started in terms of the basketball practices to where you are now for the course of this season, just your thoughts on, what the regular season provided for your club as you get ready for tournament time coming up here in the EDC tournament.
Well, the regular season's a long year. It's over a course of 4 months. And I think over that 4 months, teams go through their ups and downs. And kind of where you're going through your ups and downs are, important to what are you getting ready for at the end of the post or getting close to postseason. And so we've definitely have had those ups and downs this year, and so and there's some things right now that we got to work on and get figured out, and so, starting next week, we told our kids last night that, everybody's 0-0 and everybody's going to fight for 4 spots, and 4 spots are going to be tough to get. And so if we want to be one of them, we're going to have to start playing a little bit better.
As you take a look at the EDC tournament, what's one thing that changes, Bart, from your perspective once you get through the regular season, getting ready for postseason play, outside of the obvious, where if you lose 2, you're done, compared to if you win a couple, you make your way to state. But outside of that, obvious point, what changes from a coach's perspective once you get to this time of the year?
Well, it's another level. That's the most important thing, is that kids got to be able to step their game up one more level, and it's an extra gear. And and I say the good thing for us is that we've been in these situations quite a bit. We've had a lot of success in our program. A lot of these kids were part of our team last year that had success too, and so they've seen it, and so now they get to be a part of it and do it themselves. And so if they're ready and willing to step their game up, I like this team. So this team has the ability to do some really good things, but we're going to need to step our play up.
As we take a look at one more tournament question I'll ask before we kind of go through some of the accolades of the regular season here, Bart. I was just looking back before the interview going, you guys have had your thumbprints all over this EDC basketball tournament. You've won 3 straight. You've been to the championship 6 consecutive years in the tournament. What has allowed this program consistently to be one of the heavy hitters just in this EDC tournament?
Well, you have to have a lot of good players, and we've had a lot of good players who've come through our program, but it's also just a stability thing too. We've been pretty fortunate here over the last couple of years to, play kids who have been in the mix for multiple years. And why they're there multiple years, they learn how to kind of play and learn what tournament play is all about. And I think that's been kind of important for us, but we certainly have had a lot of success, and it's important that these kids have seen that success and continue to do the things that they're going to need to do to win games at tournament time, because the game changes. The scores aren't going to be like they have been during the regular season. Things tighten up a little bit. And so those are just, you just need to execute offensively and defensively better than you have during the regular season.
As you take a look at just some of the superlatives, a lot of people are going to start with Mason Clabo, and rightfully so, breaking that scoring record here now, over 2,200 career points and counting on his career here. Just what has Mason's journey been for his senior season, Bart, compared to where he was as a middle schooler? I remember talking with you saying, hey, who's this middle school kid that dropped like 18, 20 points and a half at Valley City in a basketball game to where he's at now? What has this senior year been like for Mason Clabo?
It's been just an incredible career for him. Let me just start there. Mason has been, in my opinion, the most prolific scorer over a course of 4 years. Sometimes you'll get like a freshman who averages 10 points a game. And, Mason has averaged in his career over 22 points a game. And that includes his 8th grade year where he didn't score a whole lot. And so that should tell you how good of a scorer he's been. Plus, he's missed quite a few games due to some injuries too. And so by him breaking that record and having that record now, I think just kind of, tells and shows everybody, and including myself, and which I take for granted a lot, is that this kid can really put the ball in the hole. And he has been our glue guy kind of this year once again. And there's nothing that he can't do. There's no game that you're ever out of with Mason Claypool, and so we're going to definitely need to lean on him a little bit more during tournament play, and if we're going to go anywhere, it's going to be with Mason Claypool playing well.
How cool was it to be Bart? Because you've seen it from a player, you've seen it from a coach's perspective, some of the accolades with individual awards, the team awards, but in that particular moment when you knew that Mason was getting close and all of a sudden it comes to fruition on that night, like, hey, this could be the night that it happens. How much of a moment is that you just try to put in the memory bank and say, this is one I'll remember forever. You'll know where you'll be, whether it is a player, whether it's a coach, whether it's a fan that was in the stands that particular night. It was packed at Davies. How fun of a moment is that, and how special of a moment is it compared to what you get to see throughout the course of the season?
Well, I'll just say this is that it'll never ever happen in my lifetime again. I mean, I've been coaching a long time and never had, even a 2,000 point score. And now here, he's going to probably approach 2,500, by the end of it. And that's never going to happen again. And records are meant to be broken, but I think this one will stand for quite a while because it's a record that is not only about you have to play for a while and you have to be really, really good for a while. And that's what Mason was been, during his career has been so good at is being really good, being the best player on the floor as a freshman, as a sophomore, as a junior and a senior. He's been all state all those years and first team all state. And so it's going to take quite a player to break that record. And Mason's worked really hard. His IQ, I think, is just above and beyond of what a high schooler, kid is. And I think that helps him because he's able to, see things that other kids don't see. He is a coach on the floor. And so all of those things that I will miss greatly when he's gone because he has provided so much for this program. And if you didn't hear, well, the thing that stood out to me the most about what Mason said last week is that this isn't his record. This is the Davies record. And as a coach, that really, kind of feels good that, Mason understands, a little bit of, that's just his IQ level of like he's played with a lot of good players too that have helped him get this record. And so he appreciates it all. We appreciate him. We have certainly won a lot of games with him, and he'll be sad to see go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, even though it's a short tenure compared to some other programs across the state, there's been a lot of really good athletes and ball handlers and basketball players for sure coming through that program, Bart. And a couple other guys that has allowed you to have a really successful season so far. I know just looking at the stats, Colin Williams is, averaging nearly a double-double on this season here as well, roughly around that 14 points, 8 rebounds per contest. What have you seen from his progression on the floor this season?
Well, he's just relentless. He's got a relentless type of effort, around the rim. And, he's a very strong kid. And, his ability to track the ball down is something that some kids just don't have. And he has the ability to go and find the ball and get the ball and put the ball in the hole. And he's really, really good at it, and he's left-handed. I think that helps a little bit too, because a lot of kids can't figure out lefties a little bit. And so, Colin has been a little bit of surprise. Like I knew he was going to be a good player for us, but I wasn't sure that, what his contribution was going to be this year. And took him a little bit of time to get the football out. Our Davies football team made a big run at the end and got second. And so he played football for most of November. And so it took him a little bit of time to get going. But once he got going, boy, he's been hard to keep off the glass. And he's been really good around the rim this year for us.
Take us through some one or two other ball handlers. Maybe it's someone who comes in and plays the defensive role. Maybe it's the hustle points that you don't see on a stat column, but you kind of keep track as a coach, right? Who's flying all over the court? Who are some other glue guys this year, Bart, that's allowed you to get this #1 seed in the EDC tournament?
Well, I mean, when we look at our team, we got a bunch of guys who we've played to kind of fill, and I really do believe that it's been kind of a team of doing it by committee. Some nights, you have guys who do it better than other guys, and they've seen some more time. But guys like Cade Olhauser and Holden Whitty and Colton Rinke and Charlie Metzger and Aiden Mastel and Cam Miller, and I know I'm probably leaving a couple kids out here, but those guys have been all kind of called upon and have done a really fantastic job for us of filling in and sparking us at times, sometimes making big shots for us. And we know we have Mason and Colin have been having a good year, but we're going to need those guys to really, really play well for us, on the stretcher at tournament time for us to be successful.
Final two things for me, Bart, before we let you go. Maybe you hit it on the head a little bit earlier. Just what's the one thing that Fargo Davies basketball must do well once you get to this postseason? What do you want to see fans from, whether it's your fans or fans in the stands that just want to watch a good basketball game coming up in March here? What's one thing that the Eagles must do well to find yourself and navigate to another opportunity to play for a state tournament?
Well, I think we got to continue to rebound the ball well. We've done that all year long, and that's a thing, and not turn the ball over. And so by doing those two things and just making sure that we execute offensively and put the guys in the right spot that we need to be taking shots, I think that's going to be important for us. And then just defensively is keeping teams out of the paint and doing a good job of defending the 3-point line. And those are going to be important things for us if we're going to make a run here again at the end of the year.
Final thing, Bart, we always like to recognize those in the classroom, yourself included here. Kind of got honored just very similar time with Mason Clable, but on a different award with being the Teacher of the Year for the Fargo Public School System. What does that just honor kind of mean for you, and just kind of the things outside of basketball, so to speak, in a life? Because I know it's so common to ask players and coaches everything about the sport that they're in, that you kind of forget there's an other half to family or to their profession. So what does that mean to get recognized in that venue?
Well, I mean, it was a special day, and it was really kind of an emotional day too. But, I just really feel like when you sit and you look at, whether it's my teaching or my coaching, the one thing that I've been really smart about my entire life is surrounding myself with a lot of really good people and a lot of talented kids in class and a lot of talented kids on my basketball team. And, and they make you look really good. And so I've just been very appreciative of being around a great admin team and a great, my social studies department is just really good. And I've never been afraid to surround myself and ask good questions and surround myself with good people. And they raised you up and been very, proud to be a part of Davies High School and feel very privileged to teach and coach here, and so it was just really a very special day.
Final thing for me, Bart, before I let you go, we'll follow up on this. What's it like being part of Davies from the start to where it is now, both from the school perspective, from the coach's perspective? I can't believe when I'm looking at some of your conference championships or the state tournament, how long ago it's already been for some of those teams, and you start going, oh yeah, that's right, he played in 15 or he played in 13, this player played here. What's it been like to see the progression both from the school, from the sports side of it here for Fargo Davies?
But I think what's really unique about a situation like that is you got to start it from the beginning. And so it's really have put the footprints down, and you are building all of that stuff. And, to be able to do it from the beginning and not kind of come in and take over for another coach or, which a lot of other programs have, is really kind of special in itself and something that I'll always remember that, we got a chance to do it right. And I think we've done a pretty good job with, the way that we've done it and stuff like that. And so, hopefully it'll continue, until I'm ready to retire, and so, but that has been something that I've been probably the most proud of in my life, is to be able to start something and see it from the beginning to what we build it into. And that's been pretty special.
Hey, Bart, as always, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here as you get ready to roll in the postseason and going forward throughout the rest of the course of the year.
All right, thanks.
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip. Food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Parenting is hard for all of us. And so providing those little resources that we can share for those conversations that are hard to have, and to kind of be that icebreaker for both professionals, parents, and then open up that conversation to the more engaging conversation that's needing to be had.
Being a parent myself, oftentimes it's the simple things that make a difference.
As a busy parent myself, just engaging with your kids, making it an everyday thing so they know that you're there. They can always come to you when those difficult situations do arise.
Contact Trail District Health Unit in Hillsborough for more information.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome into our senior spotlight portion on the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show. James Cardarelli joined by senior at Thief River Falls, Avah Waldal, who I'm used to seeing dominate on the at the net during volleyball games and on the hardwood during basketball games. But you are committed to Bemidji State University for track and field. Just kind of take us through the process, what you're going to be doing there, and what drew you to Bemidji.
Okay, yeah. So I was really set on playing basketball. I really wanted to play basketball for a while, and I'd gotten an offer from Mayville and a few other schools. And then I just kind of decided that I really love track, and that was just something a lot of people didn't know about me. And yeah, so I went on a tour of Bemidji, and then I committed, or I really started talking to the coach and stuff. And I had really decided that I wanted to commit right before I got hurt. So it was like the weekend before I got hurt. And then, yeah, so I officially committed, I want to say a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of surprised because I thought you would for sure be playing basketball at the next level after covering your games for the past few seasons. So when I saw you were committed for track and field, I honestly didn't even know that you were involved in track and field. So what will you be doing at Bemidji with track and field?
Mostly jumping. So long jump and triple jump. And then the short sprints, like the 200. And yeah, so my freshman year will look like kind of just doing everything, trying everything, seeing different things that I'm good at. And yeah.
And you're pretty close to home, so I'm sure your family is excited about that as well. Just right down the road, you're still going to get that college experience, but you'll be able to come back home when you want to.
Yeah. Yep.
And, for you personally, I know your senior year, you were having such a great year on the floor. So, and then a devastating injury. Everybody involved with the team, I mean, that was a gut punch for sure. Just your emotions. And I see you on the sideline. You're still there cheering on your team. You guys are a very tight-knit group, but that had to have been hard for you to go down like that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's been hard, but yeah, I have a different perspective now on everything. I kind of get the coach's side a little bit more, and I'm seeing a bunch of different things that I didn't see when I was playing. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then talking about your guys' team, you guys are very close friends, all of you, and that kind of shows just in your relationships. Your coach has talked to me about that. How fun has that been to be a part of a group like that?
It's awesome. Usually, kind of with girls' sports, you kind of get the drama side a lot and the cliques, and I feel like we don't have that. We're all just best friends, and you could really tell how much we loved each other when Taylor, one of our other guards, went down a few games ago, and we kind of all relived my moment of getting hurt, and that kind of just shows how much we're just so close. So it's awesome being super close.
Yeah, and then on your senior night, it was really cool that you got to be announced in the starting lineup, and then they even let you score a bucket on the other end. But you were 1 for 2 there in your final game. What was going through your head after you missed the first little bunny shot down there?
Well, I was kind of practicing a little bit, and then I was just super nervous. But I feel like that was just kind of me to miss the first one, and then Josie get a rebound out of it. So yeah.
Awesome. And you're almost done with school now. Just looking back on your high school career, down the road, I know it's kind of hard to right now because you're living in the moment, but you're going to look back fondly on these memories that you've had in Prowler sports.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then playing for Coach Praska, how's that been?
I love Coach Praska. She's I don't really know how to describe her, but she's awesome. And we all love her. Yeah.
She coaches you guys hard, but you can really tell that she
Yes.
cares about you guys as human beings and really is shaping you guys. What she told me in our pregame interview the other night is that you guys are going to be really good citizens when you leave Lincoln High School. And that's even more important to her than the wins and losses. So it must be nice playing for someone like that.
Yeah, she's the coach that even when it's not basketball season, she's always checking in on us. She's texting us. She's just always there for us. Yeah.
And what are you looking forward to most being out of high school and going to college? Is there are you just excited to get away and kind of, learn how to be on your own a little bit?
Yeah, I'm super excited to go to college. Yeah, I'm just excited to be on my own. I'm excited to live in a dorm and see what all that's about. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Avah. Congratulations on your commitment. And you have been one of the most fun players for me to cover just throughout your years in volleyball and on basketball, just doing all your games these past few seasons. It's always been a joy to watch you play some sports, and you're very talented and you got a bright future. So thank you so much.
thank you for having me.
That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show. Here is again, it's our final one for February. Crazy to think March is coming up around the corner. Join us for our next Coaches Show a week from tonight on March the 5th at 7 o'clock on YourLiveEvent.com. The Coaches Show presented to you by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. I'm Chase Miller. Enjoy the rest of your night.